It is a beautiful overcast day today, so I figured I would come out here, bring out my notepad, and discuss some things that I think are important to really talk about for this new year. I wanted to share my my idea of what videographers and photographers' thoughts and priorities should be, like moving forward, things to watch out for, and just a mindset to have whether you're new or you're experienced. I don't know if anyone else is getting targeted by ads frequently that just got into videography or photography, but there's people that are trying to sell courses, there's people that are trying to sell products, there's people that are trying to sell content packages, there's people that are trying to sell LUT packages, there's people that are trying to sell sound assets. Now, I'm not discrediting all of them. Some of them are good. Some are actually really valuable, but the issue is that there's like a whole culture around it. There's a lot of people who jump straight into this industry and then immediately try to start making money off of it by manufacturing like a false sense of authority, by trying to just convince everyone that they know what they're talking about. And honestly, I think everyone should meet everything that is education, if it's on YouTube or it's a course, with the same level of scrutiny. Honestly, no one really has to listen to me. I could be full of shit. I could not know what I'm talking about. But the beauty of it is that, well, I would like everyone to know that be more aware and try to question the motives of the people that are trying to sell you a product or try to sell you a course or give you information, because some people actually do care. Some people do actually want everyone to know what they know so that they can grow, and then other people want you to know something so that you trust them more and then they can sell you a product, which is fine. But if that's the whole motive, then that just sucks. Honestly, I just disagree with that. We also fall for shiny object syndrome. There's a lot of reviewers that will talk about the next big camera lens, the next big camera body, the next big camera accessory, gosh. And honestly, I personally think that not everything that you think is an investment. You really do have to research and do your diligence when it comes to whatever you are doing and what niche you're falling into when it comes to your video production. Sometimes you'll buy an expensive piece of gear and almost never use it. I'll give you guys an example. I bought a Zhiyun Crane 3S, and it's nice, it's great when I did use it, but I probably only used it like 3 times. It was a pretty penny. It was very expensive. And I don't think I really got my money back. Or I did get my money back, but I don't really think I pushed the cost effectiveness of the item out. And I really didn't think about what I was doing, because I bought this thing right when there was hype for it. And honestly, I probably should have just second guessed. And honestly, I shoot everything handheld or on a tripod. So, and I got more value out of these tripods that I'm using in this backyard than anything else I have. So that's just some perspective, looking at hindsight. So I want to go over some priorities for beginners. I want everyone to master the basics that's watching this. What do I mean by master the basics? There isn't a single piece of gear that you can buy that's going to make you better. And there's plenty of people that have said that, but the thing is that, like, think of your skill set as occupying volume in a box, and the box perpetually becomes bigger. There's more creative space to work in the longer you do something and the better you get. You're not going to be able to utilize all the space in a big box that you buy on a newer camera model or a newer camera lens or newer software or newer assets. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just add too many ingredients to a recipe that you're trying to make, and it just ends up making you confused. We are tested the best when we don't have what we need and we're forced to improvise. Honestly, I think that's what's made me better over the years. I actually had all my gear stolen when I used to live in California. I was actually robbed with a friend. They took like 20 grand worth of camera gear. I had to start all over, working with the first camera that I ever got. I had to buy the first camera I ever got again and start all over. And I noticed that all my content or all my stuff I was making was just, it looked way better because I just had more knowledge. And then that's when the light bulb turned on. I was like, man, I really didn't need all that stuff. So just stay away from shiny object syndrome, for real. Like, just honestly, just do your research on the item. If you think it's worth it, go for it. Just don't listen to the hype. Don't listen to the people that are just trying to get you to buy it. Half the people on YouTube are actually sponsored by the products, and they'll actually tell you in the video that they're not sponsored by them. But dude, let's just be real. Like, they're just saying that to lower your guard. Oh, also bonus information, there's free resources for everything. If you want to learn how to do something, there's YouTube. And if you want to learn how to use something, honestly, there's probably alternative software that does the same exact thing that you want, that'll teach you how to do it. And I think that breaking up with Adobe was the best example for me, I really had to figure out how to redo my entire workflow, because once I switched to DaVinci, I was like, man, this is so much better. Is there anything else that is out there that works better? And before I knew it, I went from Photoshop to Affinity Photo, and I went from Adobe Audition to Audacity. Out of everything I thought I'd be using, Audacity actually works pretty well. I think it's pretty funny. Man, I'm not really the type of guy who want to give advice to experienced videographers, because some of them have egos, and some of them really don't give a shit and they live in their own bubble. But I would say make more friends. Yeah, just get to know more people that do what you do, and pick their brain and ask them why they do what they do and what their favorite part of their work process is. And honestly, like, we have so many different ways of doing the same thing. It's beautiful. It's interesting. Keeps things moving and shaking. The only thing that I'd say to avoid, which is antithetical to what I just mentioned, is gonna be trends. Like, if it's a trend and it's viral and it's exploding, bro, why even hop on it? Like, unless it's making you money and it's part of what your client wants, I don't really think you should be doing it. Because if it gets you, let's put it this way, if it gets you attention from a group of people that aren't even your target audience, what are you even doing? Like, especially when these people, arguably, I would say, probably aren't as sophisticated as the people you want to reach out to. So, I don't know, do you, man? But those are just some thoughts I have. I want to emphasize too, if I was just gonna have the spotlight for a minute, I think the community should take precedent over gurus. I think that gurus that are in the space are just really annoying. I mean, there's people out there that really come off super like pretentious and annoying, and they're demeaning, and rather than make a YouTube video on how to do one specific thing and show everyone how to do it and get right straight to the point, the person will waste time and show like supposedly how newbies do it and insinuate that it's wrong. And the one thing you'll notice the longer you do something that's artistic is, like, even the stuff you did that was wrong when you first started, with just a little bit of intent, honestly, it can be used to add value to what you're doing, because now there's intent versus you not knowing what you're doing. And that makes all the difference, because this is art, it's all subjective. The beauty of it is, I would say that art has intent behind it, and if it doesn't, then it's not art. And these people that, like, for trying to sell you these courses and stuff like that, and I keep going back to this, they just want to make money, and they're here to just jump on the bandwagon. And I mean, maybe I'm just sitting out here venting at this point, but dude, like, I really want to take the information in my head and like just translate it and tell other people, and I'm not expecting them to do anything. I just want to help, because I really was caught up, like, not knowing who to really trust or where to go to or how to do the diligence when I first started. And now I'm aware of where to look, and I point people in the right direction. Sometimes I am the source of information. So yeah, it's a mantle of responsibility that you wear when you've been doing things long enough. Like, are you going to be the person that's a piece of shit and just wants to make money, or do you want to help the community out and give back and help the people that were in the position you were in when you first started? Man, if I was going to send anybody off with one last thing, I think you should trust yourself. I think you shouldn't really go to other people for ideas. I mean, I've honestly done my best when I just turn social media off and just walk around and look at things for what they are and try to be creative and get a different angle, whether you're taking a video or taking photos. I thought the other day that a lot of the photographers from back in the day didn't have social media, so they didn't have a lot of references. They just went solely based on instinct, and that's how they came up with like crazy pieces that are worth being printed. And that's another thing too, another tangent I can hop onto. A lot of stuff you see on Instagram, the trendy photography, it's not timeless. I'll say that. It's not timeless, and it's not sophisticated. Most of the time it's really trendy, and it's just washes over really quick. And I don't know, man, if I took a photo and I was gonna like vanish and maybe just like, I don't know, I'm not gonna be here forever, and like, if the photo survives the test of time, that's a good example. I mean, I don't really know if any of these people that are walking around toting A7R4s are gonna be remembered for anything, just feeding the monster that is social media. It's wild. What are your priorities in photography, like, or videography? I actually would want to know like what everyone's thinking when it comes to how everything is right now and how we should move forward. It got kind of boring. Now there's a bunch of people who have content agencies. I don't see a lot of freelancers making great stuff. Of course, like you have to go and find them, but I see a lot more like slop being posted on the internet. So if we could get more authenticity, that would be great. Honestly, I'm just here to talk. That's it. But yeah, it's got to be something about the overcast day that has me thinking about this stuff. Anyways, I will be back to go on another tangent in another spot some other time. We'll see you guys later.